Hello. Happy Tuesday. I hope you all are having a great Tuesday. I wish I could say mine is. I'm so tired, but I'm so tired for the very best reason. And get your minds out the gutter. That is not the reason why, but I will tell you of the reason why in a moment, just as soon as you tell me that you can see my screen and you can hear my voice. Then I will go in and tell you my amazing news. I'm so very happy about it. It was a long time coming, so who knows? But go ahead, give me those thumbs up. I hate when there's a delay. I just really do. Oh, there it is. Okay, so it's like a minute and a half delay. I gotta wait like a minute and a half for you all to catch up with me, but that's okay. Oh, goody, now you can see me. Yay! You are gonna pass the exam on the first time. Yay! Oh, inspiring minds. I like that. I like it so much. So here's my news. Um, Hey, Caroline. For like months, I have been talking about doing a video on discount points. Discount points. And I months and months and months. Y'all know I stay so busy. And then this past weekend, I was determined, bound and determined to finish this friggin' video for you all. It's about 11 minutes long. It's all animated and it takes forever to animate. I don't know if you know this, but it isn't even public yet. However, I made the video for you all, so I'm going to put a link to it to my YouTube in the chat in a moment. Why? Because just in case there's a mess up, like if I mess something up major, because I was literally up until like 4:30 last night doing this. Just in case I missed something, I want to get you all to say, Kandyce, no, don't do it. Change this. Like if it's something small, I don't care because it's just YouTube. But either way, I want to share it with you. So let me show it to you. It's right here. Look at that. Discount points explained. I can even go up a little bit. Whoa, look at that. I'm so excited. Yay. Yay. I know it's hard for you all to see it because the way it is, but it is what it is. And so let us go and I'm gonna hit the share button. I'm gonna hit the copy button. Now, if you try to search for this, it's not gonna come up because it's still a private video. Only people with the link can get it. So if you're listening to this and it's like later today or tomorrow, which today is the 17th, and you're doing a search and you can't find it, just email me. Just in case I did mess up, I'll have to redo some things and re-upload it. But email me. I'll be glad to share the link. But guys, please feel free to email me if I made a mistake or, if I need to change something. Like I said, it's private. I worked hard on this one. It took forever. I'm not saying it's my best work. I just had to work it in through everything. So that's my news. Gosh, yay. Oh, good, Christina. I hope this helps. Yay, especially Linnell, if this helps you a lot, just let me know because that's why I do this. The goal here is to make sure that you all get the help that you need. So, Susan, you said you don't understand why a credit would appear on the buyer statement for an assumable loan. Did I think to grab a glass of water? No, Noelle. I did not. Gosh darn it, Noelle. I got some Windex here, but I don't have any water. That's okay. I'm out of it today because I needed some sleep. So let me answer your question, Susan, and let me go back to here. So what we're going to do. Oh, you said, sorry. I had to think about it because I looked at the question on the screen. Here's why, Susan, and this is going to take a second. So think about it. Susan, if you buy a house, you make monthly payments if you get a loan because the day of closing, let's say you borrowed $300,000 from the bank. The bank literally gives you $300,000 that day, and then you give that money to the seller. So there is a reason for you to pay off the bank. You received $300,000. You gave it to the seller. Now you're paying it off. When a buyer, let's say I'm assuming your loan, if I'm going to be making payments, that means I need to receive something from you. because I have to be paying off something. If I'm the buyer and I'm assuming your loan, well, let's say there's 250 left on that loan. I need to be making monthly payments towards receiving money. So it's kind of like you gave me 250,000, and then I turned around and gave it kind of back to you, and now I'm paying off the bank. So the reason the assumable loan is a credit to the borrower is because you, the original borrower, has to give me the loan, so I have a reason to pay off the bank and make monthly payments. Does that make sense? I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense. I hope it makes sense, but that is why. It is not something they ask a lot of, but they do ask it sometimes. So there's that. Give me a thumbs up, Susan, or let me know if I need to go into it some more. Otherwise, guys, if it's your first time here, welcome, 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 welcome. We're going to do our thing. We're going to answer some questions. We're going to learn some stuff. We're going to possibly have some fun. And maybe you all will watch my video and tell me if I messed up. Please, don't expect perfection because it was 4:30. But let's go with our first question. Boot refers to something we have to wear in the winter. Nope, that's not an answer choice. Boot refers to, is it A, foreclosure, B, exchanges, C, business sales, or D, leases? You said, Christina, it does, and it doesn't make sense. It could have been simpler. Well, remember that Christina, when I say this, most loans can't be assumed because of that due on sale clause. So it's not going to happen a lot in real life. I mean, there are some VA loans can be assumed and some, things like that, but it doesn't happen a whole lot. So yes, I want you to understand it, but yeah, it is a little bit weird when you think about it, but hopefully that worked. And Rhonda Lynn, yes, all of these are always recorded. Anytime you go back to your page that's got the list of webinars for the day, if you scroll all the way down, you'll see previous webinars. So there you go. Let's see. What are y'all telling me? I got a B, I got a B, I got a B, I got a B. I do have an A. Now I got about 12. Hey, Sapna. I got about 12 answers and 58 people watching. Does that mean we're not sure? Oh, I see you with the double emoji art. We bringing home a baby bumblebee. I see what you did there. I'm bringing home a baby bumblebee. Won't my mama be so proud of me? I see you with the baby bumblebee. Oh, and yes, Caroline, a 1099 exchange does relate to a boot, meaning our answer, in fact, as you all mostly said, is, hey, exchanges. Oh, Taisha, don't worry about it. Those people at work, I get it. I just like to make sure that everybody gets a chance to try. One of my favorite things to say when I'm helping people study for this is, you don't know what you don't know until somebody or something tells you whether or not you know it. So it's awesome that my voice is coming back, kind of. It's awesome that I have people answering in the chat, but I want to make sure everybody is using this as an opportunity to learn, to figure out what you know. So yes, Christina, I do mean a 1031 tax-deferred exchange. You said you love my energy even though I had a long night. I'm one of those people, I'm either 100% on or I'm 100% off. When I was younger, I was a camp counselor, and early in the morning, the kids were like, stop. Now, getting me there, getting me out of the bed can be hard, but once I'm up, I'm up. And all of this with no caffeine. All right, so yes, a 1031 tax-deferred exchange, the boot. Ooh, modern man, I love that. Exchange boots, an easy way to remember it. You would go exchange the boots. They're the wrong size or the wrong color. I love it. Exchange boots. So if you're not quite sure what a 1031 tax-deferred exchange is, let me know. I will explain it. Oh, that's okay, Dominique. You just renewed. Welcome back. I think you all know what a 1031 is, but if you don't, let me know, and I can cover it. I was going to go take a sip of water, but as we have already discovered, I forgot my water. So I'm just going to be thirsty, or like my mother used to tell me when I was little, just swallow. And I was like, but I'm thirsty, lady. It's so dry. All right, I will stay away from drinking the Windex. Next question. All of the following are sufficient to convey an interest in real property except. All of the following are sufficient to convey an interest in real property except. Is it A, bill of sale, B, deed, C, agreement of sale, or D, lease? What say you? Yep, exactly, Charlie, to help. Well, I want to be careful with that, Charlie. You said to help not pay taxes right now. To not pay taxes right now. All right, what do we have here? We got a D, 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 we got an A, we got an A, we got a D, we got an A, we got 100% A, D, D, A, D, A, D. Okay, so we are 100% sure it's not deed or an arranged agreement of sale. Because yes, a deed transfers real property and an agreement of sale transfers real property. But you all are going back and forth. Now, Art said bill of sale, and Susan said a bill of sale is for personal property. But so many people are telling me D. So I don't know. Like, I will be honest with you all. The answer is, in fact, A. The answer, in fact, is A. So if you got it right, do a little dance, do a little dance, do a little dance, do a little dance. Hey, 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 and hey. Yes, the answer would be A. But if you chose D, let's break this down. It says all of the following are sufficient to convey an interest in real property. So anytime you're given the ability to have some sort of connection with or say or relationship with the property, that means you have an interest in the real property. In fact, a lease is a non-freehold estate or a leasehold estate. And we know estate, E-S-T-A-T-E, estate, means the right to live there, the right of possession. You have an interest. You are an interested party in that place that you're leasing. So yes, a lease would convey a freehold estate interest in real property. That is why D is not the right answer. Christina, so you dance every time you hear it. Hopefully that made sense to everybody. And while you're letting me know if that made sense, you said, what is the cap for 250 or 500,000 for exchanges? Okay. So it is related to transfer, but what you're talking about are taxes. And when somebody sells their personal residence, that they live there at least 2 out of the past 5 years. So you're living someplace, you own it. If within the last 5 years, you've lived there at least the equivalent of 2 years out of those past 5 years, you can sell it and not pay capital gains on part of what you made. Remember, capital gains, it's just like when you win the lottery. You know, when you win the lottery, you have to pay taxes because you got money. Well, when you sell your house, you have to pay taxes on the new to you money. But what the law says is if you are single, you sell this personal residence that you lived in at least 2 of the past 5 years, you can make the first $250,000 and not pay taxes. If you sell it for $250,001, you're going to be paying capital gains taxes on $1. You sell it for $300,000, you're going to pay taxes on $50,000. So if it is that personal residence that qualifies, you get the first $250,000 capital gains tax free. You don't pay capital gains tax on them if you're single. And if you're married, you just double it to $500,000. So there you go. So yes, the 250 and 500 is for personal residence, and the what we were talking about with the 1031, that's for investments. And never should the two shall they meet. They are different. So, does that make sense? I'm hoping so. I really hope so. All right, are we ready for the next one? Good. Let us move on. Oh, you know what? Let's go with this one since we've been talking about taxes. Which of the following items can be deducted for income tax purposes on real estate which is held as personal residence? Okay, so which of the following items can be deducted for income tax? Income tax? I'm making up word packs. Okay, income tax purposes on real estate which is held as personal residence. The answer would either be A, property taxes and mortgage interest, B, expenses of repair, maintenance, and care, C, losses which occur if the property is sold, or D, annual depreciation. I want you to put your answer in the chat, but while you are doing it, I want to talk about the fact that we talk a lot about taxes in this class, and it ends up happening in so many different ways. Now, first and foremost, I know every single one of you in your respective states, you all pay real property taxes basically annually. Every state, some states, so you pay it on a calendar year, some states you pay it on a fiscal year, some states you pay more than once, whichever. Some states use mills, some states pay per hundred. I mean, there's all different ways to pay taxes and when they're due, but those are your real property taxes. If you own real property, you pay them. But we also talk about taxes when we talk about income taxes. So we have the 1031 tax exchange for investment property. We talked about the 250 and 500, exemption if it's your personal property. But where I find a lot of students get confused, if this makes sense to you, if you were in a state where you had to know how to find capitalization rates and NOI, remember when we're talking about that, the taxes are the real property taxes that the owner would pay on the property. So when you're talking about you're a property manager and it says, oh, do we include taxes? Well, yes and no. When you're using and trying to find the NOI, the net operating income, yes, the property, the real property taxes for the property that year are included as part of that. But what is not included is the owner's income taxes. That has nothing to do with it. So I know sometimes it gets confusing. All right. So do I have a video on capital gains? No. Do I need to do one, Aisha? I go sleep tonight first. I just say. But it looks like you all are telling me the answer is A, and you all already knew this. It's one of the reasons why so many people go through and they buy houses, because when you have a house and you are paying your annual income taxes, as the owner, you get to write off those property taxes because you didn't actually make that money. You had to go to pay, right? And then the mortgage interest. It's an amazing reason to own a house, and we love it. We love it. How does the home extension exemption work? So I think, Ori, if what I'm talking about is that $250,000 or the $500,000 if you're married and filing jointly, that exemption. Now there is the homestead exemption in some states, which is a different tax exemption, but that's going down a whole new path. So hopefully that makes sense, Ori. Love the question. And since everybody seemed to get that one right. Do I have a video on environmental issues? Do I have a video on environmental issues? I don't think I do. I have it as part of that 8-hour review that I did, but that 2 weeks is over, so then that's gone. I don't think I do. Would we rather me do the environmental issues or should I do capital gains? I don't know. And Art, I'm with you. I recommend ChatGPT, but I do say this. Remember, it's not perfect. It is not perfect. And you need to make sure you say, hey, for my state or studying for the real estate exam. But other than that, we like it. Both Sapna. Just for the record, for about every minute you see a video, it takes about a minute. It takes about an hour to an hour and a half to create and edit. So you said both Sapna. I was like, I don't know if I have it in me, but I will. I just need to get a little sleep. Oh, you're so very welcome, Charlie. Look, if I didn't like it, I wouldn't do it. I enjoy it. I had to get it done. It was sitting there in my to-do box, and I'm trying to study for this Michigan test and do it all, so I hope you all like it. If you missed it and you're wondering what we're talking about, I put in the chat earlier, if you want to rewind, a link to my new video. It's not public yet, but since I made it for you all, people in the webinar, from request, I wanted you all to check it out first, make sure I didn't make any major mistakes, and then we'll go from there. All right, let's move on to our next question. What is the meaning of a quiet title action? What is the meaning of a quiet title action? Sarah, do I have legal descriptions? I do have one on the government rectangular survey system, Sarah. I have like a 10-minute video on the government rectangular survey system, which is one of my favorites that I've done. So that is on my channel. So is it A, purchasing property through a dummy transaction? Is it B, an action to quiet a noisy tenant? Is it C, a court action to remove a cloud on the title? Or is it D, foreclosure action? Yes, Charlie. Oh, yes. Watch the government rectangular survey system. It will help a lot. That's one of those things where you got to kind of see it in order to make it make sense. And speaking of C, getting C's. C is the answer, and we know C is for cookie. That's good enough for me. Right? But maybe we should let the original.
C is for cookie. That's good enough for me.
Right? Oh, and Art called it.
I like carrots, and you should too. It goes crunch, crunch, and it's good for you. We like carrots, and you should too. It goes crunch.
You said, where do you find that video, YouTube or Facebook? Generally, guys, I put everything on YouTube. I'm not on Facebook a lot. So let me pull it up for you. I've got to do a search. That is Kandyce Ellis appraisal. It's going to look something like, here, I'll move my thing down. Can you see that? No, you can't see it still. Gosh, that sucks. All right, let me just make it pop up here, and then there's this, and then I can copy it, share, copy. Here you go. Here is the appraisal video for you, ma'am. Can you purchase the cheat sheet? Yes, Elmario, just email me, Kandyce at KandyceEllis@gmail.com, and that should help. So first, before we get to your question, Christina, which starts with the C, which is the answer most people chose, is C the right answer? Court action to remove a cloud on title. Hey!
That's a good job, man. Y'all are doing a very good job.
We got it right. We got it right. Hey, we got it right. Do a little dance, do a little dance, do a little dance, do a little dance. Hey, 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 hey. And Caroline, I see you also C for Caroline. Yeah, if you have to go, you can watch it later. You know how to reach me. I can answer any questions. And there's Alexis, a video I have in Spanish is the appraisal video. If you, wait, did I just do appraisal? And I meant to do, okay, guys, I'm a little slow. That is the appraisal video, and that's not what you asked me for. You asked me for the government rectangular survey system. Well, let's maybe find that. Survey system. Helps if I actually give you all the right thing. Now, let's try the government rectangular survey system. That's better. And, okay. And you'll be able to tell it, look, whoop, boop, 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 boop. There you go. See the government rectangular survey system? Let's share that one. All right. Bye, Caroline. Oh, good. I'm so glad you liked it, Susan. Boom. Because, guys, this learning stuff, it's a thing. And I want to point it out to you. And I always say it in classes, when I have a little bit more time. But did you memorize your favorite song by listening to it once or twice? And that's your favorite song. So some of this stuff in real estate you didn't know before, you don't care about, you're just trying to pass an exam. So think about how much you have to, expose your brain to it in order to get it to stick like your favorite song. So it's okay. Listen to your teacher, read your book, watch videos, answer questions, do all of the things so it sticks. All right. So were we all good with quiet title action? Everybody seemed to give me the right answer, but if somebody does not understand, feel free to ask me. Feel free to ask me. So Christina, going back to your question, you had to compare this and quitclaim deed to make sure you understood the differences. They are similar. So yes, they are. Let me know if I need to go over how they're similar. And Emily, you said, question, when you're doing calculations for when adding what client pays at closing, do we add the points? Yes. You would, if you're talking about the buyer's side and the buyer is having to pay discount points, then yes, they would do it. And then don't forget, sometimes they'll try to trick you and say the seller is going to pay some of the buyer's discount points, and then the seller would have to pay it. But that's very specific. You started recording facts, so you listen to the facts while you work out over and over again. I love it. I love it. Christina, you said, when is one used over the other? So, Christina, a quitclaim deed is used basically to just, where you're mostly going to find it on test questions, is this idea that somebody has a mechanic's lien on a property, and once that person is paid, the quitclaim deed basically says, I'm not making any promises about the quality of title. I'm not even saying that I own it. I'm just saying I no longer have any say in the property. I am quitting my claim. That's a quitclaim deed. So you could use it to just basically say, hey, I don't want to be part of this anymore. I'm out. Versus the, you said the other one was, what was it? Quitclaim, this and the quitclaim deed. Well, I'm not sure what this is, but a quiet title action, if we're talking about the question, is where, let's say you own a piece of property and you think somebody else might be the owner. Well, then you go to the court and have the judge figure out, okay, what's really going on. But I'm not sure if you were trying to compare it to another type of deed. Just let me know. And you put the animations playlist from Prep Agent the whole night. You can hear me in my dream. Well, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know why you want to hear me all the time, but that's okay. I'm glad if it helps you pass. And Charlie, good. I love it. I love doing it, and that's why I do it. So let's do our next one, guys. Which of the following rights of ownership in real property do individuals normally not have? Oh, I just had a thought. I know, sorry, squirrel, that's what happens when I don't have a lot of thinking, but maybe I could do a video on capital gains as a YouTube live. That way it's not me trying to animate it out. You all could come in. It would be a YouTube live. I would record it, put it on the YouTubes for you to see later. So it wouldn't be necessarily as pretty, but maybe we could do that. We'll think about it. Back to the question. Which of the following rights of ownership in real property do individuals not normally have? Is it A, reliction rights? Is it B, eminent domain rights? Is it C, severance rights? Or is it D, riparian rights? Let's see what you got. We got a B. 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 Oh, you all said you like the idea of a YouTube live? Oh, take a look. It's in a book of reading ring. I can't hit that low note. I mean, I could, but I was going to blow it, Art, so I didn't do it. I started a little bit too low. We're not going to hit that rainbow. That I should have started at a higher one. B. Now, Charlie, you said this is tricky. So here's where knowing our vocab is so important. So important. So, Charlie or anybody else, who can tell me what reliction is? Reliction rights. Who can tell me what that is? And then don't just, oh, riparian rights is a stream of water. But what is reliction? Can anybody help Charlie out? She's absolutely right. Riparian rights are stream of water. For stream, flowing bodies of water, streams and rivers. All right. What about severance right, eminent domain rights? What is a severance right? Severance is real property to personal property. Well, severance, when I think of severance and real property, I always like to think of a tree. Like, think of a tree growing in the woods, and I guess we're going to find out whether or not it makes a noise if no one's around. But imagine that tree just growing naturally. It is part of the real property. If you sever that tree, you are basically chopping down the tree. Now the tree, the log, is no longer permanently attached to the earth, so it's personal property. That log is now personal property. So the right to sever, severance rights are, I guess, I don't know of them as a specific thing so much as you would have the right to sell off a piece or sever things from a property generally. And then if you have this log and you were to do whatever it is that magical woodworkers do, you take it and take that wood, make it into a fence, and you could permanently put that fence into the ground, making the fence a fixture and also an improvement. So it kind of goes both ways. And Charlie said, you said reliction is dry land, water dried away. Exactly. It's an increase. So yes, you would have the right to the new land if it dries away. Yes, you do have the right to sever things from your property. And yes, you do have riparian rights. But eminent domain, what is eminent domain and who has that right? Who has that right? What is eminent domain and who has that right? I see Modern Man said it once before. Take a look. So yes, our answer is B, eminent domain rights. But what does eminent right? There we go. Alina says, when the government takes away the property for the good of the public and they pay you just compensation. And they pay you just compensation. So that's what happens there. Yeah. Oh, Noelle said it very well. Government taking property for public use and paying compensation. Noelle's trying to pass. So's Christina. So's Alexis. All of y'all. So it helps. Remember, don't just look at the question and say, oh, yeah, I'm just doing this. One question, it's right or it's wrong. Make sure the other vocab words make sense to you too. Right? Okay, if it's your first time here, know that we are not going to end quite yet. I like to go a little bit longer. We'll see how long I can keep up this energy because I still have to teach from 6 to 9:30 tonight, but that's okay. Susan, you said, how could you change this to inverse condemnation? Well, inverse condemnation is when you go to the government and you say, I need you to take and pay me for my land. Inverse condemnation is when you go to the government and say, please pay me, take my land. Eminent domain is when they come in and they take it. You didn't ask for it to be taken, and even if you don't want them to, they are taking it anyway. It's called a quick take. But the reverse is when you go to them and you say, hey, would you buy my property? Because something you've done has ruined it. Maybe they've widened a road and now your front yard is like right there at your front door and it's not usable. Or, something like that. The government has done some activity that's made using your property kind of impossible. So you're asking them to compensate you. That's what it is. All right. Oof. Are we ready for the next one? An acknowledgement may be taken by a notary public who is. An acknowledgement may be taken by a notary public who is it A, the grantor in a deed which is being acknowledged? Is it B, the grantee in a deed which is being acknowledged? Is it C, the mortgagee in a mortgage being acknowledged? Or D, the employee of a corporation who has executed an instrument being acknowledged if he is not personally interested? What say you? We got a D. We got a D, we got a D, we got a D, we got a D. Under the sea. Oh, let's just play it, guys.
Under the sea.
Under the sea. Darling, it's better down where it's wetter. Take it from me. Gotta love it. Gotta love Sebastian. So I have mostly D's, D's, D's. I do have an A. Anybody else want to get their answer in before we check it? I'm going to have to go with D, but just got to make sure sometimes y'all change it up and everybody goes to a different answer sometimes. Because I'm not saying D is wrong. I'm not saying D is right. I'm going to go with the answer that most of you choose. All right, Trick said D. Well, Alexis, you can ask the question. Hopefully I have an answer. If it's not a huge question, I'll try my best to answer it. I mean, it depends if you're going, how personal are you getting? Is this like a game of truth or dare, Alexis? Like, are you trying to ask me about my personal life? Because I'm an open book. No, I'm not. That's why I've never been caught. But yes, Alexis, you can answer the question. I'll answer it after we finish it. You got to go, Charlie. Your spouse is home for lunch. Have fun with your spouse, Charlie. I'll see you tomorrow. All right. So let's go. I'll answer it in a moment, Alexis. So you all said D. Is our answer D, an employee of a corporation who has executed an instrument being acknowledged if he is not personally interested? And yes, the answer is D. Remember, acknowledgement is notarization. It's done by a notary. And you know, when you have papers signed in front of a notary, you, one of the people signing it, like one of the parties to the contract or the deed, you can't notarize your own paperwork. It's a third-party person. So there you go. Hopefully this makes sense. Now, to your question, Alexis. A home who has had some horror events in there, what would be the proper wording? I think you're talking about stigmatized properties. And depending on the state, some states you have to share it, some states you don't. But usually if I've seen things about hauntings, I would call it a stigmatized properties. Because one, you can't prove that it's haunted. And I say that because if you can prove hauntings, why are you sitting here on this call? Go make your gazillions of billions of dollars if you can prove life after death. Just saying. Just saying. So Houston, the city government. I'm not quite sure, Houston, what you're asking me or what that statement to. Okay, you got it. You just wanted to know the proper word. Yeah, I would go with that. Susan said 3 years in California if the person died in the property. Yeah, and so where I am, we don't have that rule. Somebody died on the property, they just died. I mean, I don't mean to be callous about it, but they're gone. Unless they're not. Mwah, mwah. And yes, Linnell, you are correct. That does not have to be revealed in North Carolina as a material fact. 100% right. That is a true statement for North Carolina. Stigmatized properties are not. All right, let's go to the next one. Going back to what we were talking about before, the two requirements which governmental units must observe in the exercise of the power of eminent domain are. Oh, is that what you were talking about? The city or the government, Houston? I don't know. Is a haunting the same stigmatized as a murder? It depends on your state. So my state, hauntings and murder, they're all kind of treated as you're not in trouble if you do tell it. You're not in trouble if you don't tell it. You just can't lie about it. But that's my state. Rachel, I would definitely want you to check out what your state rules are. And then illegal acts. Well, if it's something like a meth lab, or that is something you usually have to share. So there you go. Is there a way to drag your feet because you feel like you're not getting market value compensation? Oh, well, no, not really. They go ahead and they take the property. It's called a quick take. And then you hash it out in court. Oh, they're taking your property. You don't get to drag your feet and it doesn't happen. You drag your feet on getting paid, and then eventually you'll have a court date, and eventually the courts will decide, like, if you don't like the amount of money. But that's about all you got there, right? So it looks like I got D's, 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 D's. Lots of D's for the answer. You all are telling me the proposed use must be public and just compensation must be paid to the owner. But we do have our other answers. There's A, the proposed use must be both practical and public. It could be B, the proposed use must be practical and just compensation must be paid to the owner. It could be C, the inconvenience to the owner must not be greater than the benefit to the public and the government may justify the taking. Or D, I see you are, he gave me the nuts because it's all D's. All right. D is the proposed use must be public and just compensation must be paid to the owner. Let's see, is our answer D? Let's do a real drum roll. Hey, the answer's D. The answer's D. Hey, the answer's D. Do a little dance, do a little dance, do a little dance, do a little dance. I don't want to do the work today. I like that little song. It's fun because I don't. I really just want to take a nap. But congratulations if you chose D. Of course it is. Like, we don't care that you just had a baby. Get out. We don't care that you're not quite sure where you're going to move to. Get out. The government is taking your land, and all you can do is be bitter and cry in your Cheerios. Like, that's all you got. That's all you got. You're not stopping this. So it is what it is. Any questions there? Any questions I need to answer on that one? You all are doing great. And I know you all are really asking some great questions today. I love the engagement. I love y'all. Y'all are just fun. You all make it fun, even though I'm like, oh, my bed would be so amazing. You make it fun to be here, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And I mean, that's one of the reasons why I stayed up to finish the video. Y'all work so hard. I wanted to make sure that I work hard too. All right, next question. A buyer would want which of the following removed from a preliminary title report? We owe me a spa day. I owe myself a spa day. A buyer would want which of the following removed from a preliminary title report? I like to actually float in the sensory deprivation tanks. I think I need to go do that. Is it A, a mechanic's lien? B, an appurtenant easement over adjacent property? C, CC&Rs? Or D, a quitclaim deed? What say you? Oh, good, Rachel, you're going to watch the video after class, please, and give me feedback. Be kind. All right, I got A's. I got A, yo, A, yo. You know, I heard that song on the radio, and they're saying, hey, you know, they're actually saying, hey, but hip hop hooray. Yep, that's what that song is. Hip hop hooray. I cannot rap. God has given me a lot of talents, but rapping is not one of them. I am no Eminem, nor can I draw. As some of you have seen, drawing is not in my forte. All right. Oh, great question. What are CC and R's? Who can answer that? I will be impressed. What are CC and R's? Cookies, cakes, and Raisinets? What starts with R's, y'all? I'm like, rum cake, cookies, cakes, and rum. Oh, cookies, cakes, and rum. Now that sounds delicious. Not cookies, cakes, and raisins. I always hated those people that are like, raisins are nature's candy. No, they're not. They're dried up grapes, and they're disgusting. Covenants, conditions, and restrictions. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. It's basically the fancy word for all of the paperwork that goes in being in a neighborhood, like your restrictive covenants. Yes, look at y'all being geniuses. But you couldn't come up with something for the R for me, huh? Cookies, cakes, and I don't know. There is a great animated video on CC&Rs. Okay. Oh my gosh, inspiring minds, you're so smart. Cookies, cakes, and Reese's. Stop playing me and a bag of miniature Reese's. That is danger zone. danger zones. Not raisins, Linnell. Blah, blah. Raisins are not nature's candy. But I will take the Reese's cookies, cakes, and Reese's. See, look, it's a crazy conversation, but this means you all might remember it better when it gets down to the test. Just like you all have ruined me. I was teaching my class the other night and I was talking about sales comparison approach and market data approach. And I said, hey guys, it's the same S&M. And they just kind of looked at me and I was like, you had to be there. But now I cannot think sales comparison approach and market data approach are the same without thinking about S&M. Thanks, guys. S&M. That's just great. Got to keep it PG-13 around here. Chocolate raisins. The chocolate part is delicious. I would just, when I was little, just suck off the chocolate and spit out the raisins. Now those Brook whatever, dark chocolate covered berries and blueberries and pomegranates, now that is delicious. Okay, clearly Kandyce needs to eat lunch before I go teach tonight. So it is, let's see. What did y'all choose? A. Let's go with A, not C. We were just talking about CCNRs. And of course, it's mechanics lean. Right, Noelle? They ruin a good oatmeal cookie. People be putting raisins in the oatmeal cookie like they're delicious. I personally pick out the raisins out of my Raisin Bran. Call me crazy, and yes, I know I can buy plain Raisin Bran, but it doesn't taste the same. All right. All right, mechanics lean. Are y'all ready to do a couple more before I'm obviously just sleep drunk, like just silly today? Let's go with a person signing under a power of attorney for the contract or agreement to be enforceable should sign. A person signing under a power of attorney for the contract or agreement to be enforceable should sign. I am delirious. Also, one of my favorite comedy genius movies by Eddie Murphy, Delirious is Everything. A person signing under a power of attorney for the contract or agreement to be enforceable should sign. Is it A, the name only to their agreement? B, the principal's name only to the agreement? C, all of the other options are correct? Or D, their name and print the principal's name to the agreement? All right. We got C's, we got C's, we got C's. Ooh, we have a D. We have another D, but mostly C's. If you all are watching my video before I make it public, one thing I am wondering is the music too loud, A, and B, do I talk too fast or too slow? I mean, for the video. I try to slow it down for the video, but then I'm like, am I talking too slow? Or is it normal speed and I'm just insane? Right? Linnell said maybe C. We got C's, we got D's. Oh, most people have said C, but we came in strong with the D at the end. It's 50-50 D and C. Oh, and you can, Linnell, you can email me or you can tell me tomorrow. Either way. Oh, modern man, thank you. Could you tell my siblings that? I am perfect. All right, so should I go with C or D? Is anybody feeling 100% on this one? Because it's kind of like C or D. You think D now because the others say only. Oh. Now, Crystal, I like the way you think. And Crystal Gale, let me go with D because, oof, I like what you did there. I like it. Say only their name to the agreement, the principal's name only to the agreement. I mean, now, I'm not saying only is always the wrong answer, but when you see the word only, it should be red flashing lights. You know, like the Kanye song? Okay, yeah, I am delirious. Yeah, but if only their name, like, think about it. It's an agreement. It's a contract. And if I'm your power of attorney and I sign your name, it's not your signature. And everybody's going to look at it and go, but oh, that wasn't my signature. So you want it to be signed by the power of attorney and then say for, and then the real person, so that we can connect that there was a power of attorney thing going on. Yep. The exam can be very, very tricky like that. So there you go. Rest and lunch after this. I think I'm going to do lunch first. I'm going to have some leftover pizza. But although for dinner, I did get one of those Costco pot pies. I've heard they're good. I had a friend that said they were delicious. I personally love the Costco rotisserie chicken and the Costco Alfredo chicken Alfredo. Those are delicious. You do have to, season it up a bit. But I'm going to try the Costco pot pie tonight. Let's see how we go. All right. All right, one more, guys, because now I really am hungry and I'm thirsty because, I failed to get the water. One more. Which one? Let's go to this one because somebody asked about it and I want to make sure we're cool. A special warranty deed differs from a general warranty deed in that the grantor's covenant and the special warranty deed. Now, this was a question about deeds. Somebody asked earlier about a quitclaim deed, but I wanted to make sure we all feel good about these two, too. A special warranty deed differs from a general warranty deed in that the grantor's covenant and the special warranty deed is it A, applies only to a definite time, limited time, B, is implied and is not written in full, C, covers the time back to the original title. Do you remember the time? Sorry. Or D, protects all subsequent owners of the property. Ooh, Modern Man said, hard question. Now, Modern Man, I'm going to want to make sure when we finish this that you definitely know the difference. Because although it may be a difficult question, it's one they're going to want to make sure you understand this difference in these two types of deeds. And Ori said 100% A. Inspiring Minds, my socials, I really kind of only do YouTube. I need to do better. And I know you all say I should do Insta or TikTok or something and put some of these on there. It just, so much time in the day. But I do YouTube. I should probably start doing some reels and then put them there. So, yes, but YouTube is where you can catch me. And, all right, you all said A. There's tongue twisters and then there's brain twisters when they seem to use word over and over. There are lots. I would kill it on TikTok. I do have a TikTok. I do. But it's my you can follow me. What is my TikTok? My TikTok is TikTok. Do y'all watch Demon Roommate on TikTok? It's friggin' amazing. It's just Kandyce Ellis, like K-A-N. You know what? If you want to follow me, but I don't have anything on there, at Kandyce Ellis. Right? And I think my Instagram is Get Your Life Right. I'm pretty sure. But I don't ever do anything. I think I got like 4 videos. Maybe I should. I got 2. I got 2 videos on my TikTok. TikTok should be fire. Does anybody do TikTok? Like, I probably need to figure it out. I watch it a lot, but I got to figure out how it would work for us. All right. Back to this question because squirrel, let's go with A, applies only to a definite time, limited time. Of course, that's the answer. Remember, a general warranty deed is the highest form or the strongest deed because if let's say I'm the seller and you are the buyer. I, the seller, in a general warranty deed, I'm saying, hey, look, maybe I were to do like just one question and explanation for a TikTok. Would that work? Like if I just did a question and then my answer, try to stay focused. That I've done a terrible job of today, but that's okay. So in a general warranty deed, if I was the seller, I would say, hey, I'm telling you this is good title. I promise. And in fact, I'm promising this so much that it doesn't matter if somebody comes and knocks on your door and says that the title is messed up. They could say that I messed it up as the last previous owner, or they could say somebody before me messed it up. A previous before me owner messed it up. Either way, with a general warranty deed, I got you. I'm going to make it right. In a special warranty deed, the seller, me, is saying, hey, look, I don't know about those previous owners. Those previous owners are a little shady. I can only promise that I didn't mess it up. I'm only, and this is where the word only is important. It's not the wrong answer. It's the right answer this time. I'm saying that only I didn't mess it up. I can't guarantee about the shady previous people. So that's it. All right, guys. Yeah, speaking of that's it. But what are covenants? Covenants are just promises. So when they say the covenant of season, it's like the promise or warranty of season. The covenant is a fancy word. It can mean a promise or it can be a rule, like restrictive covenants. They can be rules. So rules, promises, things that can kind of go either way. All right, it's 3:55. We've done this for 55 minutes now. I am thirsty, but I am excited, and I'm really kind of nervous too to see if you all like my discount points video. I'm going to put it in the chat one more time just in case you missed it. Let me press share, copy, because you don't have to email me. You could wait till tomorrow to tell me. But if you need to email me, it's just Kandyce Ellis at Gmail. And I think I'm going to work on that TikTok thing if you all think it would work. We'll talk some more about it. Oh, hey, is it Ivanka? I like that. That's pretty. Deborah, you're so welcome. I'm going to go grab some food. Y'all have a great one. Remember, I'm teaching a night class, so tomorrow's webinar is at 3. So for the next month or so, I'll be doing afternoon webinars. And then after this night class is over, we'll go back to evenings at least once a week. Thanks, guys.